Welcome to the Primal Persistence Podcast, the podcast where I will give you health and fitness tips for your journey toward health and fitness through knowledge from me and guests that we both can learn from. So let's get started with the Primal Persistence Podcast. Enjoy. Hey, and welcome to this podcast. Today we're going to be talking about sleep. Sleep is so hugely important for our health and our well-being, and for all of those of you with kids, it is, as you know, vital to getting every day working and getting everything in sync and getting everything working in your routine and your diet for your kids. It's so important. So let's talk about sleep today. I'm going to start with talking about some health and regarding to sleep and what can happen if you don't get enough sleep. So if you're sleeping less than 6 hours a night, and that this is for a longer time, for all of you with smaller kids or kids in general, know that you don't always get the sleep that you would like. But this can lead to a lot of different things. A lot of new studies show that this can lead to type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance, autoimmune disease, stroke, and the list goes on. But this is super important to think about, that generally sleep can cure a lot of the health diseases that we see these days. And when I say less than 6 hours a night, some studies show as well that sleeping more than 9 hours per night can increase the risk of disease as well by as much as 25%. So sticking to around these 7.5 to 8 hours is fantastic. And if you can't get this, then getting quality sleep in is so important. But that was a jump. And then let's move to, if you don't sleep enough, you can have a lot of problem with inflammation, and for a lot of you that are working out and training, this can have a huge effect on your training and your joints and all of this. And in a stressed lifestyle with an increased risk of inflammation, you will have more colds and a lot more just general not feeling up to par with yourself. And one of the things that I see a lot in my everyday working with clients is weight gain and obesity. Of course, this is based on a diet, especially a diet with too many processed foods and too little vegetables. But here, the medical research just shows a strong correlation between obesity and a lack of sleep that is nearly as strong as the dietary factor. This is so important. So a short-term change in your sleep pattern can worsen your insulin resistance. So you will get with taking all-nighter here and there will increase your weight gain. So sleep is important for your weight and your overall health. And this insulin sensitivity part I talked about before is so important. And the sleep is a very big part of this. So if you want to lose weight, then remember to put sleep on the top of your to-do list, even though you have small kids. It can be an effect on your cardiovascular disease risks. So even without a diagnosed sleep disorder, there are relationships between sleep and your cardiac function and cell functions. So there are so many things in this sleep, and I've just written so many things down that I can keep on saying all these fantastic things that we can talk about, but just gonna stick with it's so important, and then getting to some more actionable tips instead of talking about all these bad things. I think that in these days everybody knows that sleep is so important. So let's get to talking about making sleep a priority in your everyday life. It is just so important to get this circadian rhythm, your daylight rhythm, up and working with your sleep wake cycle. And a good way of getting this to working is getting enough vitamin D, because vitamin D is essential way for you to communicate with the parts of your brain that is responsible for the circadian rhythm. This can be done by getting out in the morning, getting some sunlight in the morning, which in my part of the world is super hard. So try to getting it in the middle of the day during your lunch break, getting out and getting some sunlight here. There are a lot of sunlight without, even though there are clouds and it's a little cloudy. And then one of the things that I see a lot of people do, especially just us in the northern hemisphere, is just getting sunglasses out as soon as there are a little sun. A lot of these new sunglasses block a lot of this all of the UV light, so you don't get the effects on your eyes to help your circadian rhythm. Another thing that is so important for your circadian rhythm, coming from glasses, is wearing amber tinted glasses to block out the blue light from all the modern technology that we use these days to help our brain acknowledging that it is nighttime and that we don't have daytime because of all this blue light that comes out of these devices. So it tricks your brain to into it's still daytime because it thinks all the blue light are coming in, and this is not the way it is. It's just you looking at your iPhone. One of the other things that we can be talking about is making seasonal changes to your sleep. So we sleep more in the wintertime and sleep a little less in the summertime because of the light. You have more light time available. So this is something that I've been working a lot on in my sleep journey, and trying to sleep a little more when it's darker in the wintertime. So going to bed a little earlier, and then getting up a little later than I normally would. And then when the light is more out in the summertime, I'll do the switch and staying up a little bit later, but still trying to get in my 8 hours of sleep every night. Relaxing before bed sends a fantastic signal to your brain that it's time to go to sleep. So trying to dim down the lights and using some candle lights and reading a good book or having a fantastic conversation with your family is a fantastic way of winding down before you go to bed. And all of these things can help your circadian rhythm, which is so important in your diet, and is the main thing that you need to make a priority. Getting this circadian rhythm a priority in your everyday life, your sleep priority. And there are a lot of biohacks and tips and tricks we can use here, but like different devices that can send light devices, boxes, or shining lights into your ears and stuff to getting more light at the right time. But in the beginning, try the blue blocking glasses at night, and then try to get some. So when should you go to sleep? A natural early to bed, early to rise cycle may be related to better health. But this is not natural for everybody. You need to find out what's working for you. I have just ordered my Aura ring, which is a ring that tracks your HRV and helps you find the optimal sleep-wake cycle for you. And I'm so excited to get this in my hands in April, the beginning of May. This is just a huge thing because sleep is so important for me. So this is something that you can do. There are a lot of different apps that you can test out for your iPhone or your Android, which helps you. If you search for circadian rhythm, there are some great apps that where you track your food and your sleep, and these are fantastic for getting. I've been using them for some of my clients, and it's been okay. I've been tracking the old-fashioned way and setting up what works for me, but I have no technology helping me at the moment. This was just a side note, but the topic that I've written here in my notes is when to go to sleep. And for somebody it's early, somebody it's late. It just needs to find out what works for you. But if it's impossible, or you some nights don't get a full night of sleep, or feeling groggy in the morning, then a fantastic way of getting back into the right rhythm is taking a good solid nap. This can be very helpful and a great strategy for recovering your overall health and mental health, and getting back into a good rhythm. Sleep hygiene is fantastic, is important. We need to talk about noises, of course. We all have been sleeping in a hotel room or somebody somewhere that we're not used to sleeping with a lot of new noises, and this is very hard for you sleeping in these noises. A fantastic way of this troubleshooting this can be using a static radio sounds, that just a static control sound that are the same all the time, so you block out all the bad ones. The second thing is temperature. Staying at a lower temperature during the night will help your body. The first thing that will happen when you have a cooler bedroom is your body needs to drop 0.5 Celsius before it gets into a controlled good sleeping rhythm, which just helps making it easier for you to sleep and getting into this deep sleep and staying there for longer. And then there are a lot of things like sleeping on your left side one night and sleeping on the right side is another. I think it's more important that if you have tendency for snoring and other things, stay away from lying on your back and make sure you can breathe through your nose so you don't disrupt your own sleep by yourself. And routine is just so important. Going to bed at a regular bedtime and waking up within the same time every day, day in and day out, is so important. So even in the weekends and the holidays, try to get up at the same time as you normally do. This helps your rhythm and your sleep so much. And this is a lot of what people don't think about, but it's, now I can get some more sleep in because of I have a weekend off or I have a day off and I can sleep in. This is not a good way. Get up at the same time so your body knows what's going on. So there are a lot of things you can do beyond the bedroom and keeping things dark and keeping things cool and controlled sound. Diet is a fantastic way. A controlled paleo style natural food with some anti-inflammatory foods, or just healthy all-around foods with a good portion of vegetables, is a very good way to promote a greater sleep. Another way that I found, or that a lot of my clients have had great success with the dietary suggestions with sleep, is 30 grams of starchy carbs at night, at your dinner, and then not eating 3 hours before going to bed. This can help your body relaxing more and getting the carbs and the slow released carbs in your diet is just so fantastic for your sleep, and getting you into this deep sleep, restorative sleep through the night. And then beyond the bedroom, of course, exercise. We all know a good day of hard work or exercise gets us more sleepy. So this can promote better sleep and help your hormones and your hormone systems in your body get more controlled, and promotes your better sleep. Stress is a huge part of sleep, and I recommend a meditation session before you go to bed, just 3 to 5 minutes, or 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how much time and belief you have in this, is a very good way, or a good step taking, getting your body down in a gear lower, getting ready for sleep. And then, of course, classic things like caffeine, avoid them at night. Statistics, for a average person, it takes around 6 hours to get all of the caffeine out of your body. There are different people. Some people uses caffeine a lot. Okay, let's get to the let's go to bed part of my notes here. So this is the last part, and this is a part that is the action chips that you could use to getting more out of your sleep. So put the sleep at the top of your to-do list. Is so important. It is some of my primary things when I talk about health. I have a healthy diet, and just with on pair, sleep is almost as important as a healthy, controlled diet, especially for people that are working out and having an active lifestyle, or people with kids where you already have a lot of sleep trouble because you're taking care of kids that maybe aren't sleeping as well, or just waking up early. This is so important that you get quality sleep, and set this as a priority. So if you only get 6-7 hours, then you have prepped yourself to getting the maximal amount of quality sleep you can get when you get the possibility. So setting a regular bedtime is an essential and easy way to self-regulate your amount of sleep you get. So just stick to something that you can stick to. So get a sleep at the same time almost every night, or every night, and then once in a while when family or holidays, once in a while. Of course, it can't be done getting a sleep at 9 o'clock every night, or whatever works for you. You don't need to do it all. Start somewhere you can handle, and then prioritize sleep. Is so important. So sticking to getting sleep at the right time, or getting to bed at the right time, is a fantastic way. But a great way thinking about your health is sleep is so important. So we all need it. So your body loves it, and it's just a priority that you just need to get and getting in your everyday life. It it promotes your health and enhances your brain functions, and gives you more energy, especially on those busy days. Having a social support network that improves your health is so crucial, and having a routine and a family that doesn't say, "Oh, why do you go to bed so early?" is just not something you need. Talk about it and tell them how important sleep is to you and your health, and then you'll get the support that you need, and of course maybe you can help them getting more sleep and getting their health optimized a little. Utilize all the strategies you know to reduce the stress, to promote your overall comfort, and these things will help your sleep so huge. Think about sleep as a habit. When this works, like eating healthy and everything else, you can get fantastic sleep, and when this is a habit, you will get good sleep, and then from there you can take it a notch up, like getting Oura or getting some of all these tricks in your sleep habit, which will help your sleep and health a lot. I hope you can use some of all my rambling here on sleep, and this will be something that I'll be talking some more about. I'm trying to get a lot of sleep experts on the podcast, so it's not only me rambling about sleep and health, but until then you will need to hear about this from me, and I will study more on this because this is very important for me, and I'm going to be diving into a lot of these things later on. So I hope you enjoyed this, and hope that you go to bed at the right time tonight and have a fantastic night's sleep. When you start to prioritize it, this will help you a lot. Faster than others, and this is different, but generally after 3 o'clock stop drinking coffee. It can be very bad for your diet, for your sleep. Some sunlight during the day. Thank you for listening to the Primal Persistence podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share the knowledge in this so we can help as many people as possible getting the physical and energy-based power to conquer every obstacle in their way.